what's up you guys? Trent here, great to have you. How can you get the sales job of your dreams? First and foremost, you've made a fantastic life decision. Sales is really one of the best careers out there, and that's why I chose it. I currently do software sales. There's many reasons why I chose this career path, but a couple of them being sales is actually, I would argue, the most important skill out there. I'm essentially a professional communicator. And whether you're doing professional sales, selling a product or service, you're gonna be in sales no matter what, because have you ever asked someone out on a date? Have you asked someone to go get food at a place you wanna go to or make plans of your choosing? Everyone's in sales, whether you like it or not, and persuasion's a really important skill. And on top of all that, you can make a lot of money in sales. I wanted to bring this video to you guys here today because I know a lot of people are looking for jobs, and I've even had many people reach out to me, whether on YouTube, LinkedIn, or even from my college saying, how do I get into software sales? And I know it's a tough job market right now, so I have some tremendous tips for you guys here today, how you can land your own dream job. I fortunately landed my dream job. It worked out really well, so I can talk to you guys about that. I also helped with recruiting for the company a bit. I'm doing some interviews right now, so I think I can offer some unique insights into how you can position yourself to get your own dream job. To date, I've made about 37,000 cold calls, and the number one thing I've learned is you always gotta make the ask. So when you're looking for whatever you want, make sure to make the ask. And for this channel, in order for us to hit our quota, I need you guys to hit that subscribe button. So if you don't mind doing that right now, we're about to get into the content. Let's go. Sales and marketing, baby, you gotta love it. Step number one to land your dream job in sales, guys, is figure out where you wanna live geographically. So whether you wanna stay in the city you're at right now or move to a brand new place, it doesn't matter. Just decide where you wanna be for the next 3 to 5 years, and that's really gonna help. I know a lot of companies are offering remote work right now, so just don't really mind that right now, because I personally would want to go to a company in which I could get onboarded in person. Hopefully companies will start changing that here in the next few months. We don't really know when there will be a vaccine, but that's something to keep in mind. And number two is, and I'm going to give you more tips on how to find the company, but when you're looking at these cities, make sure to keep in mind if you're going to the city in which the HQ is located at versus a subsidiary office. And this is really common. A lot of these big organizations have offices all across the country. I would recommend going to the HQ office. And the main reason being, if you're looking to move up the ladder, it's really important to have exposure to senior leadership. And most of those higher level folks are at the HQ. And that's one of the mistakes I made. My company's based in Utah. I went to Texas. It's still a great office, and I've met fantastic friends, and there's endless opportunity, but I do think there is a slight advantage for the people that go to the HQ of the firm. The next step you guys want to keep in mind is, which industry do you want to be in? I personally chose technology, specifically SaaS, software as a service, because I know that's never going away, and all these organizations are going through digital transformations, and how can you contribute to that? So I think it's really important. Technology. Other industries I think are great are, of course, financial will always be around, but I think pharmaceutical as well. You wouldn't believe some of the things these pharmaceutical reps sells, and there can be really big bucks in it. But overall, those are the 3 industries I would keep in mind personally. Once you figure out your location and which industry you want to be in, you're going to want to go onto LinkedIn. And I made another video on this. I'm going to loop it up here, how to find any job you want. I actually get into LinkedIn, share my screen, and break it down a little bit. But go onto LinkedIn or any other job placement sites or even company websites and start to figure out what available jobs are there in my area that fit my level of skills. Or even if you don't think you have the skills for it, still find them and you still can apply, certainly. But the biggest thing is just starting to identify what are some jobs available, what are even some companies in that area. Figure out the top 5 to 10 companies in that Denver area you want to move to, and you can start to figure out, okay, here are the companies, here are the different positions that are open. And to take it a step further, what I would recommend, once you start to refine out the list of companies you'd love to work for, go onto LinkedIn and you can look in your network and see if any folks work for them or if you have any connections that are mutual connections with people at those firms. But also look at the employees at those respective companies, and you may need LinkedIn Navigator for that, which is a pro feature of LinkedIn, which I have. You may want to purchase it for a month subscription if you can to do this, but figure out what employees are at the company that have the role you want to do, and actually reach out to them and figure out if they like it, what advice they have, and you can start to make connections and you can leverage that information in your interviews, which should help you. But worst case, you just make another connection and add your network. And to take it a step further, you can even reach out to, I would recommend reach out to sales managers at the company, because those are the people that you would potentially get placed onto their team in that area. So they would be great people to talk to, and especially name drop their names in your interviews, and you'll be way more prepared than the other candidates searching for those similar positions. It's all about how you can differentiate yourself. This should help with your guys' confidence. It's something I didn't know initially, but recruiters are typically compensated based on getting people hired. So make sure to know that they're on your side, in your corner, and you should be leveraging them throughout the process and asking them different questions about how you can separate yourself from the rest of the pack, because they inevitably want you to get hired because that's how they get paid. Quick interviewing tips, guys. I think these will really help since I'm actually running interviews right now, and I've done probably 8 to 10 interviews trying to get a job in the first place. But the number one tip is just be yourself. No one can bring to the table necessarily what you bring because you're your own unique person. No one can really recreate that. So make sure to be yourself and really hold your hat on who you are and where you come from. Quick story on this. So in college, I got flown out to Boston to interview with Dell EMC. It was a pretty prestigious sales role, and I was there, I got there, I was in the lobby. There were about 20 other people all suited up from these great universities, and I felt a little uncomfortable. It was one of my first super competitive atmospheres, and I wasn't really myself, and I think that hurt myself throughout the process because I was trying to overcompensate in certain areas so I would look better than other people, and it didn't help, and I ended up not getting the job. And it was solely because I wasn't myself. So make sure to be confident and be yourself. And the second tip is to make sure to frame your past achievements and skills in the light of how it's going to help the firm. So don't just go into it cold. Figure out how the company makes money, your past experience, and how you can align that going forward in a plan you're going to put in place to make the firm more successful. Ultimately, organizations want to increase revenue, decrease cost, or mitigate risk. Talk about how you can do any of the three, and you'll really separate yourself. And especially if you have statistics such as, I closed 100K of revenue and it was 50% past my quota, whatever it is, in Q3 of 20 whatever. So just bring numbers to the table and talk about how it's actually going to help the business from a bottom and top line standpoint. Congratulations! You just landed the sales job of your dreams, assuming you can follow these steps. If you guys have any questions, specific follow-up questions or thoughts, or even your own experience, share that in the comments below because I'd love to hear that. This channel is now dedicated to helping people increase their sales ability, help sales professionals find jobs and be more effective in their own roles. And like we said, you don't actually have to be in sales to get value from this because everyone's in sales, whether you like it or not. I started a newsletter, okay guys? It's called Quarter Life Sales, and I'm gonna put a link to it in the description below. That's just gonna be weekly best practice tips. I'll make sure to share this content, and essentially it's going to be modern sales strategies and free training. So I'm going to put a lot into it, so I think you guys will get a lot out of it. So make sure to subscribe to that as well, along with the channel. And really appreciate you guys' time today, and wish you all the best finding a job and hitting your quotas. Have a good night, guys. Bye.